So as I look at this week's schedule, I honestly don't see a lot that's going to go into the video, so it should be relatively short. But, again, I was actually never a big fan of The Office, but I don't dislike any of the actors that were in it. It's really my sense of humor, but the sum of the parts is actually much greater than the whole, I guess. I don't know. So once again, I have the announcement here. This is going to be posted later, so I think the picture might change, but it'll be the same basic thing. I've got an apology here as to why it's taking me so long to get to the discussion boards. I've got a couple of weeks of previews and reviews and all that. I'll be changing this as soon as I finish filming the video to figure out how long this is going to be. And then once again, we have the video chapter listing, which is going to be a little bit different than what you see here. And then what to review for the week, what to read for the week, and what the only assignment is for the week. And there is an attachment down here that I just finished, okay? So if we go back to here and click on the 102 Masterclass schedule, it's perfect. Scroll down to week 3, and voila. We actually see that there's really not much to check over here. It's pretty much all up to you this time. So you'll have to craft a paper from the planner that you've already submitted last week and submit the paper this week. The only real review here is the APA material, which I'm sure 99% of you will skip wholesale because you'll elect to use what you need and ignore the rest. Why do I believe this? I know things about pigeons, Lily. Oh, by the way, if you know that reference, please email me and let me know, because I'll give you extra credit for getting one of my favorite throwaway lines from one of my favorite 90s movies. Anyway, the reason I say that is that most of you will skip this is because even in class, I can see students fade away while we discuss APA. Their eyes glaze over and they just start playing on their phones. I get it. I just want to show you the best places to get this information, okay? So let's start. Talking about the APA reference guide, if you click here, you're going to get to here. And honestly, it's a very pretty, and it's better than it used to be without being great yet page that somebody at Delaware Tech put together. I would encourage you to read through and look at all the material here. It'll actually tell you, all the material that you kind of need to see here in quick blurbs and videos and things like that. It's not necessarily incredibly helpful. There's a lot of different clicks here that you go through, and it's all that. But honestly, I want to show you a couple of things that are so much better than this, okay? The first thing I want you to do is go back to the main page here, the student resources, the portal page, all of the announcements. Come over here and look at Student Success Toolbox, then Library. You click on this and you scroll down, and underneath all the databases that you've been looking at, under Information, you can see APA style documentation. Clicking on that, you get to here. Now, this is a wonderful resource. It is quite literally written for you, the Delaware Tech student. It is written by our librarians all across the 4 campuses. And me, finishing up my 19th year of teaching here, I have used this all 19 years. They have updated it pretty much every single semester. It's wonderful because, as you can see here, it is color-coded, okay? I'm sorry if you're colorblind or you can't tell different colors, but it is color-coded, so it's a little bit easier to figure out which pieces go with which item. Now, books are first, reference books, and periodical articles, and most of you will not be using any of them because, hard copy. But you can go down here to internet sources and see, hey, websites, you'll be using that. Electronic databases, you better damn well be using that. Online periodicals, you'll probably be using that. And then down here we have online books like ebooks, and that's fantastic. That's wonderful. That's great. And then we down here have social media. Yes, Virginia, you can indeed cite a Facebook post if you're looking at old people. Twitter or X, Instagram, YouTube, TED Talks. I'm sure that there's a TikTok coming. I promise. Interviews and emails. You can cite maps. You can cite Google Maps. All that stuff. It's fantastic. And honestly, it has gotten me through 19 years of teaching APA. So if you want to use it, I either have it linked to the announcement, which I believe is right here, or you can go back here to Delaware Tech, Student Success Toolboxes, Library, and click right here, okay? Now, for the second shot, if you look back at the announcement, it's the American Psychological Association's APA Style Guide. So you click on this, and you're actually at the official page. It is written by the American Psychological Association. If you cannot find the rule on this page, it doesn't exist. That's the benefit. Any questions you have should be answered here. The drawback, though, it reads like computer instructions. It's very dry and straightforward with no real attempt to bridge the gap between lecture and audience. So if you know what you're looking for and are patient, this page is your place. So clicking on the Scrammer guidelines here, you can look at, let's say, references. And all the information is right here. It'll show you additional resources, all sorts of wonderful things, okay? If you aren't so patient, well, wait, there's more. Now, most of you are not old enough to remember these infomercials, are you? Man, this guy ruled the airwaves. Stupid OxyClean Billy Mays. The third link here is Purdue University's Online Writing Lab, or OWL. If you click on here, you will go to the Online Writing Lab, or the O.W.L. OWL. Get it? Shut up. Anyway, it's Purdue University. They're known for being a really big powerhouse in NCAA basketball, but they actually have probably the greatest online writing lab that I've ever seen, and it is awesome. The Boilermakers are multi-talented. Anyway, the Purdue OWL is the cream of the crop when it comes to writing centers. I'm impressed beyond belief every time I go there. So think of apastyle.org that was made for college students, and you'll get Purdue OWL. Take your time going through it, but it will only help you in the long run if you know what you're looking at. So here I took the link to go straight to the APA Style Introduction. You go down to the Formatting and Style Guide, and you can see everything you need here. Honestly, general format through the end of the reference list, that's pretty much where you're going to be using all your material, except we don't use footnotes or endnotes. And if you really want to kind of poke around here, you can always just click on the Purdue OWL link and go right back to the main page, avoiding plagiarism. You've got subject-specific writing, graduate writing, multilingual, which is really good for English language problems. So it really is a great website. So now that we've talked about all that, there's a little quiz. If you click on, there we go. Little quiz here, the self-check finding resources, which is here, that you can go through, click next, and, it'll ask you a few things to kind of go through and figure out, and truthfully, you don't have to worry about it. It's just a matter of understanding what the information is, just in case you missed it the first time, okay? It's not graded. I am not going to be checking to see if you did it, and I know all of you right now are saying, wait, I don't have to do this? It's not going to affect my grade? Bye, Felicia. Don't worry, I get it. It'll make you feel better if you know everything, or it will really put on a point where you need to brush up. But I get it. So let's talk about the thing that you have to submit this week, okay? It is an actual 3 to 4 page exploratory research essay based on the planner that you submitted last week. The planner you submitted last week, the paper this week. Please take a look at it. I'm going to go through it now to kind of really underline a few things. If you click on here and you'll see the assignment, it's going to tell you the basics, like what is the task, what are the resources, take a look at the research checkpoint that you've already done. And here is a pretty decent understanding of, the introduction and the body. It tells you the basics, okay? But what I have done is I've created something just a bit better. That's right. It is the Unit 1 Exploratory Research Essay Directions and Sample. Yes. I basically took some of the information on the other page and expanded upon it here to kind of tell you exactly what you need. So, If you go to this document here, which is attached to your announcement, you should be able to see exactly what you need, the requirements, the objectives, the steps. I even give you a detailed structure here to figure out exactly what's going to go through here, including using the CRAP test, going through your evaluations. Everything is in here. I even give you the topic sentence for the summary, in the article, title of article, by, author, in year. The author explains, sources, thesis statement. So, everything is in here if you look for it. If you do not do well on this paper, the first question I'm going to ask is, did you look at my directions and sample? And I will be able to tell whatever your answer is if you did or you didn't, okay? So all of this information is right here, very clear. At the very bottom, you'll see a sample of the completed literature review. You have to change that. It's an exploratory essay. I just used the same format as the last time. Appears on the next few pages. And look, the next few pages. We have an APA formatting here. We have our title, page number up here in the upper right-hand corner. Our title in bold, then a line, a blank line. Your name, where you're writing it for, the class, my name, and the due date. So make sure you're getting that done. Then you copy and paste right here on page 2 and start to write your introduction. All the pieces are here. So if you actually go through your Unit 1 progress checkpoint, you can see how each of the pieces that you've answered will fit right into this. And all you have to do is just kind of like massage it into a nice paragraph with transition words and phrases and sentences, okay? Everything is here. Pay attention to the sample thesis statement at the end. It's kind of a little bit different than I'm used to because we're being very blatant about it. The purpose of this essay is, okay? So take a look and read through it. Then I have a header, summary of first source. Mr. Christopher, do we actually have to write that? Yes, you do. I want that there, summary of the first source. And then I put it in here. Now, my sentence is a little bit different than the sentence I gave you, but I still mention the title, the year, the author, and the thesis statement, all in the first sentence. I just do it in a little bit of a different fashion. Then I have the information that kind of sums up the paper, that sums up their article, okay? I use 1, 2 in-text citations. Your in-text citations are very easy. Author's last name, year of publication, where you got the information from, paragraph or page number, not both. Then, evaluation of first source. Summary of first source, evaluation of first source. Now, I say on the sample that this is a minimum of 1 paragraph. Maybe you're going to go crazy detailed with your CRAP test, which is awesome. You might have 2 paragraphs. That's perfectly fine, okay? But as you can see here, I have mentioned the currency, the relevance, the accuracy, the authority, and the purpose, okay? I've gone through, and yes, I did indeed cite it again. That's from the About section, right? So, perfect. Then I go down and we start with the summary of the second source. Again, we have the author, we have the title, we don't have a date, which is why I put undated, and then I have the thesis statement. I kind of go a little bit off book here, but it still works. And then I have my summary of what I'm seeing. I have here and here are my citations. This is how you do an undated source, N period, D period, and everything is in there, okay? Then I go into my evaluation of the second source. Same stuff. And here I have my currency, my relevance, my accuracy, my authority, and my purpose once again. Finally, I'm finishing up with my conclusion. A single paragraph, just kind of summing everything up and providing a nice sense of closure. Now, it's supposed to be 3 to 4 pages, 3 full pages. I'm starting off with page 2. So here's 1, here's 2 full pages, here's 3 full pages, and now we're ending near the bottom of page 4, which is page 5. So I've almost got 4 full pages, but I've definitely hit the minimum required length, so nobody's going to yell at me. And then we have our references page. And yes, I don't care about this. Yes, you do have to have your references for the 2 sources that you use, and that's why we have our APA, okay? So, that's really what we need. That's the major assignment. It's worth 15% of your grade, so take it seriously, okay? And that's it, my friends. Barely 2.5 pages in the script for the week. I count that as a win. Please look at the paper directions early and let me know if you have any questions. If not, then good luck. Since I'm recording this on Friday, September 6th, the Eagles are playing tonight. I plan on setting up my projector in the backyard, lighting the old fire pit, and hopefully watching the Packers choke their way to a Birds win. Should be a great time. If it's not, don't talk to me about it. Have a great week, everybody.